How do you think even if you want to be an indoor player, how do you think playing beach can help you playing indoor? Like skill-wise or strategy or even like physical? Hi everyone, we're back with another episode of Volleyball 101. I'm Mari Silva, a full-time coach here in VVA, and today we're going to shift things a little from indoor to beach volleyball. To help us with this topic today, I brought not only one, but two guests who are going to tell us about their experiences on the beach court. Their names are Dori and Ronja Kilnger. Dori and Ronja are former college athletes here in the US, playing both indoor and beach volleyball, and now they are partners and represent their home country internationally. The Kilnger sisters are from Austria, and some of their best results as a team include an FIVB World Tour 1-star silver medalist in 2020, a second place at the Austrian Championship, a fifth place at the U22 European Championship, and a first place at the U20 Austrian Championship. So hi Dori, hi Ronja, how are you guys doing today?
Hey Mari,
Hey.
We're doing good, how are you?
I'm doing good, ready to get back at it. So how are you guys doing with training and everything? Are you guys back at, full speed with no restriction and everything?
Yeah, so basically we had COVID-19 testing last week, and so now we're back to normal training, and we were able to train for 3 or 4 weeks now with some restrictions, but it wasn't too bad. But now we can do everything again.
Everything.
So we can talk,
Practice with other people and everything?
Yes. So we're basically a group of 6 girls.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is injured, so we're 5 girls now. And we're able to practice together because everyone got tested. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't a problem at all. And it's really nice because I think Austria is one of the first countries to allow that.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're really blessed that we're here, yes.
And you guys have any news about when you guys are going to be able to play a tournament again, or it's still kind of far away?
So the Austrian Federation just talked to us, I think, like some days ago, and they told us that there might be a national tour in the end of June. Mm-hmm. But nothing is fixed yet, but they're having it in their minds and they're having it in their plans. So maybe we can start end of June again.
I mean, that's awesome. That's pretty close.
Yeah, that's really cool. Also, like the Czech Republic, which is bordering to Austria, they had their first tournament this weekend. Mm-hmm. So it's looking pretty good in, Central Europe. But as far as World Tour tournaments, we don't think we'll be playing again this year, maybe in late fall. Mm-hmm. But for a World Tour tournament to take place, basically everybody has to be allowed to travel to it because they can't just say, okay, you can come, but you can't. So it's going to take a while, I think.
But that's exciting. That's exciting.
Yes, very.
Yeah, so thank you guys for taking the time. I know you guys have a busy schedule, especially now you guys are back at it. So I really appreciate you guys being here, and I'm excited to hear about your guys' career.
Of course, we love talking to you.
Yes.
Great. So just to start off here, just give us a quick background about your guys' career. How you guys started. And I think as the older sister, I'll let Dori go first, and then Ronja can go.
Perfect. Okay, so basically I started really late in high school. We had some volleyball classes just for fun. I was in a sports school, but my class had nothing to do with volleyball itself. But just for fun, we played, and the teacher saw that I was pretty tall and athletic, and they're like, do you want to, train in a club? And then with 15, so my second year of high school, I practiced like twice a week in a club or 3 times, and I was able to play with better ones. And that really helped me. And then I started playing, and I really started liking it.
And yeah, for me, it was the same. I started in high school. Before that, we were both skier and track athletes. So we kind of had like good coordination and condition basics. So we kind of got into volleyball, or like beach volleyball and indoor volleyball, quite well and quite fast. And we adapted quite good. So yeah, I started in high school as well because Dori was playing. And I was in a ball-specific school, I'd say. I mean, we were in the same school, but I was in a ball-specific class. And I had training, I think, like 4 times a week. So, yeah, I got better and better. And then we both, Dori went to the US.
I went to the US, played there for 4 years, and the last year we were there together actually. And that was 2019 when I graduated, and then we came back to Austria to play here professionally.
To play for the national team, and also got into our military sports system that we are like financially safe. And yeah, it's really great. We love it. We love playing together, and we love the time in America. And
that's awesome. Ronja, did Dori ever force you to play as the older sister, or no?
That's what people think, but actually no. Like the first time I really got on the court, I loved the game. I loved playing, and I was like, okay, I never want to go away from here at all anymore.
Nice. And I know you guys just say that you guys were skiers, and I know you guys were really good. So what made you guys change sports? Just you guys were tired of the snow and decided to go to the beach, or what was it?
No, not really. Actually, it was because the mountains are in a very different part of Austria than where we're from. And we decided to stay at a high school closer to home. Both of us, and it was too far, and then volleyball, we liked volleyball a little bit more, and that made the decision easy. And
it's so crazy because it's such a big contrast from actually skiing to beach volleyball, right? And that's what some people are saying, hey, why do you do such a big contrast? But actually it was because I was a little homesick, so I couldn't stay away too far from home, so we went to it's like 30 minutes away to high school, and as I said before, we stepped on the court and we loved the game.
That's awesome. So how was your guys' experience here in the US? How did you guys like being a college athlete and having the chance to study and have a second job outside of volleyball, because you guys had to focus on your classes too? So how was that experience for you guys?
For me, it was amazing because in Austria, you're basically not able to do both study and train at a professional level because the university system, there's no sports system in the universities. So they don't really care what you're doing outside of university. So you have to figure it out yourself. And it's very hard to combine it with, 2 or 3 times practice or weights a day. But in the US, it was so well organized and everything is very well structured. You just have to show up, and you have, all these extra things like academic advisors that help you figure out the class schedule. And yeah, everything is pretty much planned for you, and it's easy to just be both an athlete and a student, and it works out perfectly.
Yes. I loved it too. It was like truly an amazing experience, especially being over there with my sister. That made it like much easier to go away from home. Like, I mean, it's like a 12-hour flight, so if it's with your sister, it's even more like amazing. And I also loved the resources there because there are just amazing resources to succeed academically and athletically. Because we had everything. It was everything well organized, everything well structured. And compared to here, it's also great because we're in the national team, but we have to organize it ourselves because we're our team and we're playing for our federation. And it's not like something like a team aspect as it was in the United States.
Yeah, I think that's the main reason why international players come to the US, because nobody else has the chance to play and study at the same time. That was my case too. I came here because I wanted to study and I want to keep playing. And I'm sure it's the main reason why everybody comes to the US, because it's a really nice system that they have here that nobody else does. So it's a really, really good experience for us international players.
Yes, exactly. I agree. That's the best part of it, honestly.
Yeah. So I know you guys have experiences both as indoor and beach player. What came first, and how was the transition between one sport and the other? And why did you guys choose beach over indoor?
Okay, so we both started off with playing indoor in our high school as well. And we really, really liked it. But I mean, the main difference I'd say is you have sand between your feet and there are only 2 people on the court, right? So it's like harder to move. You have to actually cover almost the same size, the same area of the field as you are in indoor. But it's just much harder because it's harder to jump in the sand and it's harder to move on the court. So you have to apparently be more physical. and you have to be a all-around player. So, for example, in indoor, when you're, let's say, a middle blocker, you have to block, you have to hit, but that's not working on beach. So you actually have to understand the game and actually have to, or have the set of skills that you actually can keep playing. I'd say that's what is the main difference between beach and indoor.
Yeah, I also think you just need various skills, and there's that part that you can't just be substituted out. Like, you have to figure it out yourself or with your teammate, and I think that's a beautiful part because you learn how to face difficulties and overcome them, and that's a really nice thing about beach volleyball that I like more in beach than indoor. But for indoor, I really like, you know, the whole team, the atmosphere, the loud yelling, and, you know, all that stuff. That was fun too. But at the end, I think beach volleyball just has my heart more. Like, I like the vibes and the aspect of playing with my sister, and I think, that's perfect.
For me too, I love playing beach volleyball because it's just, first of all, it's outside. I'm like a nature girl, I'd say. So I love playing outside. I love playing on the beach. And it's just no other way than to be technically advanced and physically advanced, to step on the court and really like show your game and show what you actually can. And as I said before, you have to be an all-rounder, and just that's such a challenging part about it, and that's so great. And we just grow together every day, work on our skill set, work on our technique, and it's just so great to see.
Do you guys think that the fact that you guys are sisters kind of helped you choose over beach over indoor because you guys would be able to play together? Or that's just a coincidence?
Totally.
No, I think so.
Yes.
Because also Austria is not that big of a country like the US or Brazil, maybe. So you don't have like hundreds of great players. You have like a couple good ones. And I think in beach, you know, you just need two people that have the same vision, the same goal, and you can go far. And it's good that we're sisters, so we basically do everything together, all the training. You can keep each other accountable, and I think that helps our game a lot.
Yeah, and I think a lot is with the mindset as well, because since we grew up in the same social environment, we kind of have the same mindset, and we kind of know, like, if we kind of put these mindsets together, the both of us, we can really, really grow, not just like the game, the technical part, but also like mentally. So that's very great about like having her as a partner, having her as a sister, having her as my best friend ever. So
that's so cute. Do you guys ever fight or no? Siblings usually fight. I know you guys are really good friends, but is there a time that you guys kind of get mad at each other, or how does that work for you guys?
I'd say even with best friends, there has to be some fighting or some discussions, because otherwise you wouldn't be best friends, right?
I agree.
So, of course, there are discussions, and of course we're fighting sometimes. But at the end of the day, we're always together, and we always will stay together because we have such a like strong connection that nothing ever can tear us apart.
I think with like the fighting, yes, sometimes we fight, but I can't stay mad at Ronja for a long time at all. So maybe we fight, but then everything is okay a couple hours later, or even less. So
then you come up with a joke, and then
exactly. No, but like it's easy because at the end of the day you're working towards the same goals. So I mean, you can have disagreements on the court or off the court, but you know, it will only get you further if you grow from them and learn from them and see the other person's perspective. And I think that helps a lot.
Ronja, does Dori have any advantage when you guys are fighting because she's older, or no? You guys win some of the fights too.
Of course not, I'd say. Maybe I have the advantage. No, just kidding. Actually, we're right now we're in this stage where we are having real like discussions where we can actually talk about it, and the fact that she's older or that I'm younger is not influencing our fighting, I'd say. I mean, sometimes, okay, it's because of stupid things that we fight, like who ate my cupcake? You are not serious, younger sister. But I think, at the end of the day, it's no one has advantage or disadvantage, because since we grow together and learn a lot from each other, I'd say, nah.
It's 50-50 then.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Good. So,
and she has a very strong personality, so
oh, I bet.
I don't think me saying, oh, I'm the older one, I'm right, like, she doesn't care. So.
Good, Ronja. I'm glad to hear that, Ronja. I'm the baby sister in my family, so that's good to hear. So we see a lot of players starting in the indoor first and then moving to beach. Sometimes they want to play indoor, but now that beach is growing so much, they just want to try it out and see how it works. So how do you think even if you want to be an indoor player, how do you think playing beach can help you playing indoor? Like skill-wise or strategy or even like physical? How do you think beach can help you playing indoor?
So I think two big aspects. The first one is, for example, I was a middle, so ball control wasn't really a thing people taught me. It was all about blocking, hitting hard, serving, all that stuff, but passing or setting was hard for me. And I think playing in the wind and playing outside with a lot of other variables just improves your whole skill set and makes it more precise. And then, of course, the conditioning part. With beach, you have to be way more conditioned, even if you just practice in beach over the summer, just to stay in shape for indoor season. It will help you a lot with your conditioning, with your breathing, heart rate, all of that, and with performing better at the end. And I just think it makes like all-rounder volleyballer, and that's always a good thing to have. And just if it's ball control and like the physical aspect, it helped me out a lot. And every time after the summer I got back to indoor, even with doing no indoor training at all in summer, I was like way better than how I ended before. So for every like underage or for every teenagers that want to play indoor and want to be great there, and they know that in the summer there's not a lot of indoor practice, I recommend going to as many beach practices as they can, even if they know they'll never be a beach volleyball player. But it will give them skills that they can't learn anywhere else, I think.
And I'd say even on higher levels, if you play, let's say, indoor and beach semi-professionally, if you play beach, you start to understand the game. You have to look at the hitter. You have to look at their arms. Is the arm dropping? Is the arm high? Are they hitting hard? Are they putting their bodies, let's say, onto line and hitting line? And you start to understand the game way more, what you actually really need in indoor as well, because you're having a much easier time there then as well.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times, especially with younger kids, coaches tell them exactly where they have to stand, in defense, indoor. And they just do it because they're told, but they're not actually looking like, what are the preference? What is the hitter doing? And that's just such a huge part in beach, because otherwise you won't be able to defend a single ball because there's so much court and only two people. And actually, a very funny thing is that our professional indoor volleyball players, the men, who play in the top leagues in Germany and Italy, so they're like top in the world. Right now they're practicing with our beach national team because they can't train indoor anywhere. And it's really fun to watch, and even they said they do it because they think that will help their game in the end. And everything is better than doing nothing, of course, but yeah, they train with the best beach teams, and it's fun to watch, they kind of grow together, both sports.
Yeah, I completely agree. That was kind of my case. I was an indoor player, and then at FIU I played my last 2 years beach as well. And my main focus was never beach, but coming back to indoor after playing 3 months of beach, I realized how much better I was as an indoor player. I was a middle blocker as well, so as you said, I didn't have much ball control, so playing beach really helped me there. And even blocking wise, my timing on the block was so much better. Ball control, even trying to look at the other side of the court to see where the open spots were so I could hit there. So it was like really, really, really good for me to play beach, and my game just improved so much.
Yes, I think so too. And especially also, for setting, I know you were middle too, but also for setter, you don't even think that could help you because beach is completely different set. But just being outside in the sand and the wind, how is the ball flying, all these different components help you at the end, I think. So I think that's a thing I would recommend for younger players, even if they want to end up playing indoor only.
Yeah, I completely agree. So another difference here between indoor and beach, Dori already mentioned about the teammates. When you play indoor, you have maybe even like 20 teammates, and a lot of times you don't get to, you're not close to them. Sometimes you have maybe like 5 best friends, and then you have 5 other friends. But most of them, you don't really have a relationship outside the court because it's just so many players. And with beach, it's just you and your partner, and you kind of become best friends. And you guys are easier because you guys are sisters, so you guys were already close. But just tell us the difference between, having that many teammates in indoor and one single partner at playing beach, and how closer you guys get when you're playing beach and only having one partner.
So I would say I really, really like the team aspect in indoor as well, because yes, maybe I had my friend group with like 5 people that I really liked and really talked to and really like even went out in my leisure time. But there was always this kind of support from, even if it's back of the court, that you always have your 19 people next to you that 100% support you and 100% are having your back. And that's what I really, really loved about indoor. Although I was more close with, let's say, Dori than I was with other people. But in beach, it's just her. So if, let's say, we're having a discussion, I can't go to someone else, But that's even the great part, because you have to understand each other. You have to like work together, you grow together, you have to build up such a great friendship that this is working. And I feel like that's the great part, because I can always count on Dori, always, every single time. And I know she always has my back. And that's just great to know that there's this one big person, big human being in my life that always supports me in every way, every situation. And yes.
I think so as well. I like the team aspect for sure. But one thing I really like about beach is it's you and your partner. You have to work hard together and you can keep each other accountable. Like, yes, for a big indoor team, maybe I can do my part, maybe she can do her part. But at the end of the day, you can't make everyone, do their part. You can't make everyone have your vision. Maybe there's people that have other goals than you have, and that's completely okay and that's completely normal. But I think to be really, really successful, everybody really has to believe in it and have the same vision. And I think that's very easy together, because it's so easy to keep each other accountable when you have every training together. Mm-hmm. And when you even outside of practice, when you encourage each other to, do that extra workout or go on the court again if you realize you're not there yet or whatever. So I really like that part about it.
I think it's really hard to for indoor to keep everybody accountable and everybody on the same page, because there's just so many people. And again, playing beach, you're not even a teammate anymore. You're a partner, right? That's how we call it. As a partner. So I think the relationship there is just so much deeper, so much more fun to have, because you're really close to each other. And I don't know, it becomes like a really strong relationship.
Yes, It's like a real relationship.
Yes, and you don't, for indoor with so many people, you don't know what they're doing, or even if they're struggling, or some of them, you only know of your closest friends, so sometimes you can't even help them because you don't know. And that's a thing that's, with beach, I mean, you know everything because you can tell because you're so much with that person. Even on all the travels, everywhere, you're always together with them. Even if we wouldn't live together, most of our day we would be together training, you know, doing beach volleyball stuff.
And for being sisters, do you guys have any pros and cons for playing with your sisters? With your sister?
I think, okay, there's so many pros. We already told you like most of them, but for the cons, I think one is you're way more honest. So for example, if I'm playing with someone random or just a friend, there's many things I wouldn't just say. I would just, you know, hold back more. And with a sister, you just say everything that's on your mind. And sometimes it's even unnecessary and you're like, okay, it wasn't that bad. I could have just, you know, not said it. But you say everything. And I mean, the good thing about it is that you can fix things very quickly. So, you know, and you don't like have that thing where, you know, or sometimes you hear about teams where they say like, yeah, you know, it was building up, like that we didn't understand each other and stuff like that can barely happen. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Yeah, the bad part about it is you probably take it more personally than you would with another partner. Yes. You are family, and of course you're really, really honest, and you say what's on your mind. And sometimes the other like takes it so much more personally. But yes, that's just how it is, and you can like talk it out every time, I'd say, and that's also really great. So,
yeah. But is that like whatever happens on the court ends on the court, right? As soon as the game is over, as everything is back to normal. Or sometimes no.
We try. With sisters, I think that's hard too because, you know, you go home together, you do everything else together. So, of course, but we try to, you know, if we had like a fight or a disagreement in practice to talk it out and then, you know, let it go right after practice and not to hold on to it. And I think we're doing a good job of because we usually talk it out right after and that makes it easy to have a cool rest of the day. So.
And I also feel like this is a learning process probably still, but we learned a lot of it, especially the last 2 years when we were in the United States and now because we were together a lot of times. So we needed to talk it out because it's always like awful to have a bad atmosphere or whatever.
We hate that.
You guys are two really positive people. I'm sure you guys don't like to bring the problems to your home.
Yeah, we don't like it at all, no.
Yeah. So now
sometimes it's in the car, so at home it's fine.
The ride back home, it's okay.
True.
So now that we're talking about chemistry, I think another difference here between indoor and beach is that indoor, I think you have your coach helping you way more during a game. Sometimes when you play beach, you don't even have your coach with you. You have to decide your strategies and everything during the game. So how does that work for you guys? Is there one that usually steps up and come up with the strategy? When you guys try to change something during the game, how does that work for you guys?
So first of all, yes, that's true. At some tournaments we're without a coach. But usually for the game plan, I mean, for the tournaments we play, there's usually plenty of game film and stuff like that online. And we try to make or come up with a game plan with our coach, even if he's not there. Mm-hmm. So he helps us. We look, you know, what are our strengths against a team like that? What could help us? Because I'm sure for every team it's different. Some teams like to serve the smaller player just because, you know, we usually don't. So it really depends on the team. And then during the game, it's important in the timeouts to see, okay, is what we're doing working? And if it's not working, why is it not working? Those are the two questions our coach told us to ask very quickly in every timeout. And then you can see maybe the game plan isn't working because you're doing, for example, you're not siding out well, or maybe it's not working because the others are doing something completely different than you watched on film. Mm-hmm. And then you have to adjust. But we usually do it together during the game. And I have to say, honestly, it's mostly on our side out, because usually if you get in that side out flow and you can get a couple of defenses, you're fine.
Yes. If you're in really, as Dori said, in that side out flow, you can really put the pressure on the other team. Mm-hmm. And you can really stick to the game plan you made with your coach before. And that's a really, really great part about our coach. He's very, very engaged, and he watches video, he does statistics, and he really, really helps us with that. Even if we, for example, in March, we played a tournament in Malaysia, and he really watched video and gave us a game plan. He's like, if you're doing your job, if you're playing your best volleyball, if you're siding out, and if you're sticking to that game plan, nothing will go wrong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really cool because he used to be a statistician. I don't know. I don't know.
Something like that. A statistician, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So he's doing a lot of math and statistics and stuff like that, and so that's really nice to have that background.
And he used to analyze a lot of videos and games for our best men's team.
Yeah.
So he really has experience in that. So he really puts the focus on that, and we really like that.
Yeah, and I mean, if we can, we'd like to bring a coach, or we'd like to play tournaments where our coaches as well, so we can at least before and after the games, kind of talk about it and see what we can do better and improve.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And if we can go back to that trusting process again. When you guys are playing on the court, you guys don't have much time to discuss about the strategy. So if someone decides to, maybe let's change this now, instead of blocking line, we're gonna block cross. You don't really have much time to ask why, right? You gotta say yes, let's do it, and you gotta buy in, because if you don't, it's probably not gonna work. So I think it's really important again to trust your partner and to think that she's doing that because she has a reason for that and she knows what she's doing. So it's really important to trust each other in that process as well.
Yeah, and I think during the game, questioning it makes no sense because your partner, there, as you said, there's a reason she shows you cross or anything, and even if it's just because she feels like she can defend that ball better, I feel like I can block that ball better, it has a reason, and we usually never discuss it until the next time or after the ball maybe. But you just do it because in a game, you have to trust each other to the point where both are able to make decisions, and it's good. It's no problem. And usually these decisions are kind of by heart a little bit. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you just have the feeling, that a certain shot is going to come, and that's okay too, even if it's not on the ultimate game plan.
Yes. And another big part I feel is you have to trust each other to the point where someone is changing the game plan, let's say, and you really have to do it with confidence. Mm-hmm. You have to be confident in it, because then the other team is okay, they're changing. Okay, they're serving on me. Why are they doing that? You have to go in with confidence. That's a really, really big part, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. So now another huge difference here between indoor and beach is that most of the times when we play indoor, we play regionally or maybe nationally. But playing beach, especially at the level you guys are playing, you guys get to travel the world and get to know different places. So how is that experience for you guys?
And we love it. We love to see the world. We love to travel, and we love to play all kinds of teams. It's cool to train with the same couple of people because you get used to the group. But it's even better to train with all kind of different players because you learn so many different styles. Yeah. And even in coaching styles, the Brazilians have a certain style of playing. The USA has a certain style. Maybe Germany or Europe has a different style. And it's just cool to even practice with, Brazilian coaches sometimes or German coaches and see all the difference. That's
and
really
Asian
cool.
coach.
Yes, Asia is completely different too.
I was a little bit jealous of you guys when you guys went to Brazil, when you guys played against one of my favorite players at all times. She was an indoor player. She won the Olympics twice. And then I saw you guys playing against her. I was so jealous. I'm not going to lie.
It was crazy because our coach told us, okay, you guys, you got to practice or you got to play against some Brazilian team. They're coming from indoor, but let's see. And we didn't know, he didn't tell us any names. Yeah. And then we came there and we literally were oh my God, is that Mari?
Yes,
oh my gosh, is that Paula?
Yeah, that was really funny. And I hope they're doing good, like with the beach. Like it's really cool to see that they now have the passion, or that they have a passion for beach and want to do that now. It was cool to practice against them because, of course, way different players than we used to.
Wow.
They're still learning.
Play. Yeah, still learning, but like super tall, super tall. So that was cool too. And I mean, the places we get to are really gorgeous. So we're really
amazing.
Happy that.
Like when you're actually when there's actually a tournament, when you actually organize a tournament, you usually do it like in your country at a great spot, right? So we actually see the greatest spots from, for example, we went to Langkawi. It's an island in Malaysia, and it was one of the most beautiful islands I've ever seen in my whole life. Or same in Greek, we went to Ios Island, it was called, and it was so beautiful, and like the organization, everything was so great. It was just amazing. It was just a dream that comes true. I mean, the one thing is the playing, the competing, the competition, the challenge, the fight. And the other part is like where we actually can travel, what places we actually can see, what places we actually are able to see. I'm just so grateful for that, and I'm grateful for that possibility to travel with my sister. It's just amazing.
Do you guys have a favorite place so far? A favorite tournament that you guys have played?
I think Langkawi was beautiful, and as Ronja said, Ios and our home tournaments, like that's really nice with the home crowd. It's a whole different atmosphere. If you have a lot of people cheering for you and stuff, that's really cool too. But I mean, as Ronja said, like all places are really cool, and all tournaments are really like at cool spots. So
how was your guys' experience with the silver medal in the FIVB World Tour?
Oh my gosh, it was crazy.
Really cool.
Because actually we made our goal plan for this year like 2 months before the tournament started, and I'm like, okay, Dori, I really want a medal in the FIVB tournament this year. That's one of my biggest goals this year. Let's do it. And then we got there, and we got there like 5 days before the tournament started. It was really hot. There was jet lag. We really needed to get used to it. And then we started off with 2 fights against Japan. The one we won, and the other one we lost really badly. And
it was a rocky start.
It was a rocky
we were like we were a little bit nervous, and then the second team we played, the Japanese girls, they were seeded, I think, one of the tournament. So it wasn't a great game, but we were still in. And then on the second day, we were really able to play our best volleyball to make it to Sunday. And then on Sunday, we played against the number 1 team again.
In the semifinals.
And it was like really, really hot. So it was like a heat fight, and it went to 3, and we won it at the end, and it was a really, really cool win.
I'm still getting goosebumps.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Not tournaments anymore, and we're so happy that we got to get that silver medal in the first tournament, because with beach volleyball it can go one way and it could easily go the other way with a couple of points, So it was really nice that we could play some really good volleyball there.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So I got to play with Dori. I didn't play with Ronja, but I know that Dori is really funny and she always makes us laugh. So do you guys have any favorite stories, like appropriate stories that you guys can tell us here? Something funny that has happened? Because I know you guys have a lot of stories together.
Yeah, there's many things. I mean, one story, it's actually kind of funny, and if you know us, I mean, we're better organized now, but, in Austria, you have to organize everything by yourself. I mean, we have our coach, like our national team is super supportive, but when it comes to going on training camps and stuff, you have to organize your own, like, where you're living, your apartments, like, you have to cook and all that stuff, so basically you're on your own. And we went to Brazil this year, as we talked about, to Rio. And we were on Airbnb, and we were like, okay, let's just book, whatever. We're both like kind of chill. We're like, okay, this seems fine. We didn't do any research. We were like, okay, it's like 700 meters I don't know how many miles that are.
Like half a mile.
Half a
That's half a
mile
mile.
from the beach, or it's gonna be fine. And then
And it was quite cheap, and we were kind of late, so we were like, okay, let's
just take it. And then we went there from the airport, and we're going up a mountain, and we're like, we're like, okay. And then all of a sudden the Uber stops, and he says like, well, from here on you guys have to walk. And we're like, wait, why? And then he's like, yeah, because the streets is like getting too small for a car to go. Okay, so we're texting, the host, and they're like, hey, we're at this place, please pick us up. We don't know where to go, whatever. And they pick us up, and like, she was really, really nice. So we went up, and we were like in the middle of the favela.
No, and we and we walked for 10 minutes, we walked for 15 minutes,
yeah, we walked for 20 minutes,
and it was like...
So what was your Airbnb in the middle of the favela?
Yes.
Yes, and you didn't know that?
No idea. Because the thing is, the address they put, since I'm not sure if there was a real address up there. They put the address way more down, or more closer to the beach, and it wasn't there at all. And so we were honestly like, I don't think it wasn't like, we didn't feel that we were in danger or anything, but everyone was laughing at us because of course it like happened.
We didn't know what's going on.
But then we were able to, get another different Airbnb more down. So we were safe, but it was like a classic Ronja and Dori story because we did not organize that well, and that's a thing that can happen.
Being from Brazil, that's really funny, actually.
Yes, you have to kind of know the area to know where it's like good areas and stuff, and we had no idea, of course. And then for Langkawi, we almost didn't get back home because of COVID, because they shut down the airport, and we got on I think the last flight,
it was the last flight.
Before they shut down the entire airport. So that was a little bit stressful too, and also again kind of like us, because we're like, oh, they're not gonna shut anything down too soon.
We gotta stay 2 more days.
Yes,
it will
exactly.
be fine.
So, yeah.
Got stuck at the airport. Oh, that's hilarious, guys. I'm glad you guys went through that in Brazil. I'm sure it was a fun experience.
Oh my God, now we know.
So that's awesome, guys. Thank you so much for being here. That was great talking to you guys again. So just to finish it up here, do you guys have any advice you guys would like to share with young athletes who would like to start a career in beach volleyball?
Yeah, so I would say for young athletes, the most important thing is like never, ever stop working hard. It doesn't matter for what in your life. It's for us, for example, it's beach volleyball. We love that we have a goal, we have a vision, and we want to work for it, and we work for it every single day effectively, and we love doing it. So never stop working on something you really, really, really love.
Yes, and I also think a thing that I've been working on and struggling with sometimes is trust the process, because there's no such thing as overnight success, and you work on things maybe months, maybe years, honestly, and you're like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm processing, if it's like getting better, but there will be like times where you're like, oh, I actually got so much better than 2 years ago, than a year ago, and you might not see it because you see yourself every day, you play every day, or at least that's the goal, but at the end of the day, it just takes time to learn something new, and it takes time to change something up. And you will see it eventually, and I think that's a very good part of the game, and that's a very satisfying part of the life of a beach volleyball player.
That's awesome. I think those are really 2 good advices. I agree with both of you, and I think that can help a lot of players out there. So thank you again, guys, for being here. I appreciate it. It was awesome talking to you guys again.
Thank you, Mari.
Yeah.
We loved it.
Bye.
Bye.
Hope to see you soon.
Bye.